Okay, guys, so you're going to get this orange piece of paper. You are going to fold this into fourths, just like Mrs. Brown is currently showing you on the screen. We will be doing this for a model on the word probability. You guys can do this with marker, crayon, whatever, or not crayon, matte pencil, whatever. So we will be talking about the word probability today. Okay. And the definition for probability is the chance that something will happen. Okay. So if we were to come up with some characteristics or a picture about probability, you might consider the number line that we just did, where we had the 0% and the 50% and the 100%. And remember, we talked about this, in the middle of this, it would be probably unlikely. This event would be a little bit more likely to happen if it was between 50 and 100. This was going to be impossible. This one was certain, and the 50% was equally likely. Okay, so some examples of that. When we can think back to our how likely was it paper that we just did, I feel like those would be some very good examples or characteristics. But I also want to talk to y'all about experimental probability and then theoretical probability. So an experimental probability means that we're actually doing the probability experiment, okay? We're rolling a dice, we're flipping a coin, that's what actually happened during an event, okay? That's the experimental probability. The theoretical probability is the likelihood of the event happening based on the total number of possible outcomes, okay? So theoretical probability is what should happen. Experimental probability is what does happen after an experiment, okay? So for some examples of this, I want you to divide this into two, and I want you to write experimental, write it smaller than Miss Brown just did, and theoretical probability. Okay? This is what does happen. This is what should happen. We're going to get into the specifics of that as we go throughout this unit. But experimental is what does happen based on the experiment, and a theoretical is what should happen based on a given number of outcomes, okay? The likelihood of an event based on a given number of outcomes. I want you to put this in your notebook, update your divider with probability Frayer model, and then come back on here for the elaborate section.